welcome to our 28th annual celebration of labor and parade. It's a little bit misty out there. We're getting some of the remnants of Dorian, but we'll get through this in terms of a festive day and a great opportunity to celebrate the rich labor heritage of Newark, New Jersey. We're going to start the program with a prayer. As we all know, our late and great friend, Monsignor John J. Gilchrist, served our spiritual needs for over 50 years. Cardinal Tobin appointed last year Monsignor Graff to be the Archdiocesan Labor Liaison, and we'd like to give him an opportunity to offer a prayer and some words of wisdom for all of us. Monsignor Graff.
Thank you. Good and loving God, as we gather in your presence this day, we are grateful. We are grateful for the gift of work. We are grateful for the gifts that you have given us in providing for our families. We are grateful for the gifts of the union, that which gives us a living wage, that which fights for our rights, that which gives us dignity. We ask you to bless all those gathered today. Bless us in our efforts. Bless us that we may do your will. Bless all that we do. And we ask this in God's name, forever and ever. Amen.
Thank you, Monsignor Graff. At this time, we're going to have the rendition of our Star Spangled Banner by the one and only Gwen Moten. Gwen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Nobody does it better. At this time, we're going to ask Walter Januario, the Secretary-Treasurer of the Essex Hudson Labor Council, to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Walter Januario.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
It takes leadership to put today's parade and celebration together. One of our co-chairs this year is a man, a third generation of Newark firemen that have served this city and protected us for so many years. He's very active in the International Association of Firefighters, both on the local and state level. I'd like to welcome Battalion Chief Joe Dahl to offer a word of welcome. Joe Dahl.
On behalf of the 3,000 members who make up the Professional Firefighters Association of New Jersey, and the over 300,000 brothers and sisters who are the International Association of Firefighters, I wish you all a very happy Labor Day week. On Labor Day, we recognize the remarkable American workers who comprise the greatest labor force in the world and who have been fundamental to the great economic resurgence our nation now enjoys. We are not separated by race, creed, or color, and let no one tell you that we are. We are united as one great movement, one great American labor movement, and our resolve and perseverance have built the middle class and enriched the hearts and minds of our nation in countless ways. Our path has been forged by the blood and sweat of patriots, men and women who used the rights granted to them by God and codified in the Constitution to raise the standard of living for all Americans, then, now, and for generations yet to come. That is why we as public employees cannot be shut out of the conversations that involve our health care or our rights to a secure retirement, as we were just a few years ago with the passage of Chapter 78. 10 years without a cost of living allowance has exacted a terrible price on our retirees, and it's time that the dignity with which they serve be rewarded with a dignified and secure retirement which they earned.
Amen. Amen.
No matter what it takes, we demand the restoration of COLA now. The path to progress is the path to pitfalls, and we urge Senator Sweeney, Speaker Coughlin, and Governor Murphy to consider the needs of the working men and women and their families in the public sector and to consult closely with their duly elected representatives before moving any such legislation forward.
Yes. Yes.
We deserve a seat at the table that decides our futures, and as my treasurer constantly reminds me, we have certainly earned it. As the 21st century economy evolves, we must make it a priority to prepare the American workforce of tomorrow. We must continue to work to ensure that students and workers have access to affordable, practical, and innovative education and job training. All students are not college bound, either by ability or want of desire. These bright young minds need to know that our brothers and sisters in the union movement stand ready to welcome them into an atmosphere of mentoring and empowering as they have since the dawn of the industrial era. A wise man once told me, learn a trade and in 5 years you'll make 6 figures and have no student debt. Now that's some sound advice. Let us continue to do all that we can to teach the skill sets necessary for fulfillment in an increasingly modern and advanced workplace. As Americans, we are truly blessed. Blessed to live in the greatest, most benevolent country the world has ever known, where opportunity abounds and success is just over the horizon for those willing to work for it. We move forward as a nation, as this great economic engine, on the shoulders of working men and women from sea to shining sea. Let us recommit ourselves to the task still at hand. Let us continually preach the message of prosperity found through organization. Let all who yearn to make a better life for themselves and have continue to be an example to our fellow citizens. May the work of this great nation continue to be rendered unto God, our protector and provider of the inalienable rights that make all good things possible for all who are fortunate enough to enjoy this uniquely American experience. May God bless you all. May He continue to bless the American labor movement, and may God bless America. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jojo. I'd like to have now an additional prayer rendered by Minister Betty Thomas, quadruproply of the Union Baptist Church in Montclair. A couple months, she's going to be a reverend. She's completed her studies in preparation for this great occasion. Minister Betty Thomas.
Good evening. Let us pray, please. Gracious God, we do come before you and we thank you for all the good things that you have continued to give us. Thank you for even this rain, Lord God, for all that who are here, notwithstanding what the elements give us, because we are not in the paths of Dorian right now, and so we give you thanks for that. We ask a special prayer for all of those that are in the path of that hurricane. So we thank you. We thank you for this union. We thank you for all of those who have skills and trades, and that you are no respecter of persons, Lord. As long as we have a skill and do the work, we can be part of a union and be part of a country and be part of a nation. We thank you for all the good things that you continue to do in our lives. We bless your name, and we say this in the only name that we know how, in the name of our Lord and Savior. Amen.
Thank you, Minister Betty Thomas. Can the folks here talk? Yell a bit? Give me an M. Give me an M again. That's too weak for me. Give me a U. Come on, you got to do better than that. I want another U. An R. A P. An H. A Y. What's that spell? Who's our governor? Who do we want to remain our governor? Who's been a friend of organized labor? Folks, it takes leadership to be the governor of this state. It's not a job for the faint of heart. Each and every day you're up at bat trying to do what's right for the people of this great state. I've watched Governor Phil Murphy during his tenure as governor take on the challenges, make the rough decisions, be a friend from one end of the state to the end of the state, north, south, east, and west. He's had an open door policy. He's a listener. He's a compromiser. He's a person who loves this great state. Let's all welcome, who's that man as our governor? What's his name? Okay.
Thank you. Wow, this is a true story, and I'm not kidding you. You got to the letter P before I realized you were spelling my name. And Sheila's my witness. Let's hear it for the president, the assemblyman. Where would we be in this state as a political matter, and most importantly, as a matter of organized labor, without the one and only Tom Giblin, please. Unmatched by anyone. I'm incredibly honored to be here. This is an annual tradition that I've come to love, and I'm thrilled to be with the Essex West Hudson Labor Council. It's an honor to be here with all brothers and sisters in labor. It's a real treat, as I said, to be here with not only the assemblyman, but the other elected officials here today. I want to give a shout out to the Deputy Grand Marshal, a dear friend to the left, freeholder, President Liuna, Local 55, the one and only Wayne Richardson to my left. And if you got a deputy as good as Wayne, you can only imagine who the Grand Marshal's going to be. How about that? My partner, who works side by side with me every single day to help lead this great state. We are incredibly humbled to do so together. Let's everybody get it up for the one, the only, the Lieutenant Governor, the singular, Sheila Oliver. And I will say on behalf of Sheila and myself and our administration, and I know I speak for the Assemblyman and the Freeholder and the other elected officials, including Mayor Baraka, in whose house we stand in front of. This was, this is, and this always will be the quintessential organized labor state, period. We will never waver from that. As long as we're around, we will have your back. No matter what stripe of labor you may be, whether you're public sector, whether you're in the building trades, or teaching, or firefighters,
whatever it might be, we have your back. Because I think we're good folks, and we want to do the right thing, but it's also because we're doing the smart thing. A state with strong, organized labor is a successful, prosperous state that grows from the middle class out. We lost our way under the last administration. Let me just tell you, we have found our way in this administration, and we will not lose it ever again. God bless you all. Thank you all so much for having me.
We got your back, Governor. We got your back.
At the outset, I just want to set the record straight. Sheila Oliver did not push me in the baby carriage when I was a young lad. But seriously, we grew up together. We shared many different positions, worked very closely in all types of capacities, whether it be in East Orange or in Essex County or throughout the state or the various community organizations that she was involved with. In many, many ways, we had similar interests and similar concerns as far as the community is concerned. And we've watched Sheila evolve in recent years in her capacity, first of all, as the Speaker of the General Assembly. So many pieces of positive legislation emanated during her tenure as the Speaker. And then Governor Murphy made a wise choice in terms of giving her an opportunity to serve as Lieutenant Governor, and she continues that legacy of support and affinity towards the labor movement. She's doing double duty as the Commissioner of Community Affairs. Let's welcome our 2019 Grand Marshal, the one and only Sheila Y. Oliver.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Labor. Once again, we are here on the Friday after Labor Day under the leadership of Assemblyman Tom Giblin, who has never forgotten from whence he came. Never. And it is appropriate that Assemblyman Giblin convenes us on the steps of Newark City Hall every Friday after Labor Day, because Newark represented the economic engine and the center of organized labor in this state dating back over 100 years. As I stand here, I stand on the shoulders of the women of New Jersey who organized and helped reform, the women who worked in sweatshops, the International Ladies Garment Workers Union. I'm reminded of the women who worked in the Triangle Shirt Factory. No labor conditions, no protections, working 16 to 18 hours a day. And that is how organized labor evolved to stand up and protect working conditions and benefits for working people. Most of us assembled here today come from families who were working people. They didn't make a lot of money. They came to work every day, and they looked forward to the promise of economic prosperity and fairness. Governor Murphy, who I am proud to serve with, promised New Jerseyans a stronger and fairer economy for all families. And in 2 short years, he has fulfilled 80% of those promises. We now have a $15 minimum wage. We now have improved to sign in the governor's absence the wage theft bill, which languished in the State House for well over a decade. Governor Murphy had no problem moving that forward. Also, Governor Murphy, in terms of fair and equality, for the first time in over 30 years, we have elevated the cash assistance payment to people in this state who must rely on public assistance until they get a foot up. And we're proud that our labor commissioner is working hand in hand with organized labor to give opportunities to people to enter the workforce. For the first time, we now have over 8,000 people in our state serving in apprenticeships. And I want to thank those from organized labor for opening their doors, working with our commissioners to make it happen. So I am pleased, yes, I am pleased to stand with Governor Murphy. I am pleased to serve with Wayne Richardson as the deputy marshal. And I want to thank his union, Leona. You always show up and show out in those bright orange shirts. Our hotel trades always here. And as well as the other groups. And Charlie Wacanic and Laurel Brennan, AFL-CIO, thank you for always being here. Thank you.
We're very fortunate in New Jersey to have two of the most outstanding leaders of the AFL-CIO with us today, and certainly I'd ask both of them to come down and be recognized and be given an opportunity to speak. We have the president of the state AFL-CIO, Charlie Wacanic, and his secretary-treasurer, Laurel Brennan, a native of Newark, New Jersey. Her father was a police officer. Let's welcome Laurel Brennan and Charlie Wacanic.
Good afternoon, brothers and sisters. Let me say happy Labor Day to all of you. You know, for me, today is a day to remember from where we came from in our past history. Many of us had parents or relatives in the unions, and this country became what it is today because the people of this movement built it. But it's important not only to know about your past, but it's really important to think about where we're headed for the future. I don't have to tell you today we're faced with many, many challenges. From our trade issues, from dealing with racism, from even right here in this great city of Newark with the water problem. We face many, many problems. But I believe that the people here, the people in organized labor, as they have done for so many years, will lead us out of this, will become the social and economic warriors to make a change in this country that will be for the betterment of all workers. So I'm proud to stand here with all of you today, and again wish you a belated Labor Day. I'd like to also recognize our Grand Marshal and my dear friend Sheila Oliver. It's so great. What a distinguished honor to have you here, along with your partner, Governor Murphy.
Thank you.
And our Deputy Grand Marshal, my brother from the Labor's Wayne. On behalf of Laurel and I, and again, I want to also recognize, as Sheila Oliver did, the great work that Tom has done to keep the tradition here, the memories of who we are, where we came from, but as I said, most importantly, where we need to go. Thank you, and God bless you.
The AFL-CIO on a state level has always been involved in terms of trying to promote candidacies of labor activists to governmental office. We have a shining example of somebody that has worked herself up to become the mayor of Hillside, New Jersey, and also a unionist within the Essex Westchester Labor Council. Let's welcome Mayor Dahlia Patrice.
Hello, Dahlia.
Hello. Thank you all for coming out tonight. A lot of people, especially what we see today in our national government, take labor for granted. In my opinion, every day is Labor Day. The world wouldn't work without us. The people that we tend not to see, our waiters and our waitresses and our hotel workers and our sewer workers and our electricians and our plumbers. These are the people we are going to learn we're going to need even more. Right now we're experiencing hurricanes and tornadoes in areas we never even imagined. And we have no idea the amount of work that is going to be necessary. Everything is not achieved by a computer or sitting behind a desk, but all work is valuable because we also need those people behind the computers and the desk. But when we watch the commercials, what do we see? We see a lot of corporate America, but not enough Main Street. But here in New Jersey, I'm proud to be a part of that blue culture, that blue family that appreciates organized workers. We are a heavily labor state, and I'm very proud to be in this state as an elected official and a daughter of labor. As a member of Local 68, we are 6,000 strong, and that has been achieved because of this great man, Tom Gibbling, right here. He manages to bring us all together in the rain, in the snow, in the cold. And that is what labor does. We always show up. So happy Labor Day. We will march in pride together. All races, all people, suburban, urban. We are here together. Happy Labor Day.
The Quintana name is a household name in the city of Newark. Louis Quintana has had over 25 years of service as a Newark councilman. He served for a period of time as mayor of this city. He's a person since his youth, has been integrally involved in all facets of Newark, regardless of race, creed, or color. Let's welcome Councilman Louis Quintana to speak on behalf of his council colleagues.
Governor. Nice to see you, man.
Happy Labor Day! Of course, I'm not Councilman Louis Quintana. I'm Councilwoman LaMonica McIver of the great Central Ward here in the city of Newark. And I am so honored to be here hosting another time, another day, the Labor Day Parade here in the great city of Newark. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to my colleague, which I'm so happy he's here, Councilman Quintana.
You know, Tom Giblin, Tom, we're seasoned because of people like you and because of people in labor. Politicians think sometimes they're seasoned, but the season is when we understand labor and we bring home something. I'm so happy the Lieutenant Governor is here today. We grew up together. We don't want to talk about our time, and the governor and the struggles and the things we talked about. Wayne Richardson, my friend, my brother, and it takes all of us together, the clergy and all, to make sure that we make labor what it's supposed to be. We can't have any more sweatshops. I have a mother who was illiterate, couldn't read or write, but she organized the Ladies Garment Union workers because she was sick and tired of not having the benefit for her children, because she didn't know what welfare was. She didn't know how to speak Spanish, and she knew how to speak Spanish but not English. She couldn't read or write, but labor was there for her. So I stand behind all the people here today, every member of labor, whether you work in a building, whether you work in an airport, whether you work in a port, wherever you work, you want to bring some home, some bacon every day, so you can give your families what they deserve. And Governor, are we on the same page?
Amen.
And what we have done at Passaic Valley with our union there and making sure that we do the right things for the people of New Jersey. Tom,
and my big brother in labor. You always scolded me and telling me what I got to do. I am so happy, but I'm going to turn over the microphone to my Central Ward Councilwoman, and hopefully this will be redistrict to the Central Ward. It's the East Ward right now. Monica Garver.
Thank you, Councilman. We just have, really quickly, on behalf of the Newark Municipal Council, we have 2 resolutions to present. The first, we're going to start off to present to our Grand Marshal, the one and only Lieutenant Governor Sheila Oliver. And we also want to present a resolution to our Deputy Grand Marshal, my big brother, the person I speak to at least once a week, the President, Wayne Richardson of Local 55. So let's get ready to march. Some of us didn't read the weather this morning like me, so I'm ready to go, warm up, and get my exercise on. Thank you, guys.
I saw you out there under the umbrella. We're all trying to pull you up. Great job.
One of our most respected labor unions here, not only in Newark, but throughout the county and state, is Local 617, Service Employees International Union. Over the years, I've worked with many of the great leaders of this organization, the late Curtis Grimsley and J.J. Johnson, and a man who served initially at their footsteps and went on to really lead the union through a lot of great historic contracts and representing his members. He was appointed several years ago by Mayor Ras Baraka as deputy mayor and continues his activism out there in the community, especially in terms of trying to help young men and women get a job and make a meaningful career of their life here in the city. I'd like to ask Deputy Mayor Rahman Muhammad.
Rahman.
Welcome! Y'all know I don't really need a mic. On behalf of Mayor Baraka, we want to welcome you to the home of labor, the city of Newark, New Jersey, where we have many great unions fighting every single day for working people. And we want to welcome the unions and the workers here. Please give yourself a round of applause for the work that you do. I really wasn't prepared to do this. The mayor was here and I see he left. He must have saw me and said, I'm gonna let him do it. You know, I have a history in labor. Some of you know me. I started off as a young man in the union at the young age of 22. I started off as a father, now I'm a grandfather today of 3 wonderful grandchildren. I have to say that because there are some people behind me who keep treating me like I'm still a little kid. And I want to remind them I'm not that young labor leader like I used to be, so some of the folks behind me, I have to remind them of that. And so we want to present, today proclamations to 2 of our famed individuals, the Lieutenant Governor and Brother Wayne, who is always in the council chambers, in the mayor's office, and in my office every single day, fighting to make sure workers, in addition to the other members of Local 3, I don't want to, the other business agents of Local 3, fighting every day to make sure that the workers get an opportunity to some of this work that's being done out here in the city of Newark. And so we want to present these proclamations to these great leaders today. So whereas as mayor of the Newark, New Jersey, I salute the celebration of labor, Sheila Oliver, Lieutenant Governor, the parade's Grand Marshal, Wayne L. Richardson, the parade's Deputy Grand Marshal, and thank them and all of our region's workers and laborers for their efforts in building our city's prosperity and future. And so we want to present these proclamations to both of these individuals today. And we want to say, labor, keep the fight going. Si se puede, yes we can. Workers continue to fight.
We're lucky we got this far without any serious downpour, but I don't want to push it any farther. We're going to start the parade along Broad Street, so I'd ask people to start getting in place our bands and our Grand Marshal and Deputy Grand Marshal. Any folks have to. And we're going to start with Solidarity Forever by Ben Zorowski, who's kept it going for 23 plus years. Go ahead, Ben.
Hello, good to see you, Governor. How are you? All right. Good. We need a moratorium on fossil fuel. We're the Solidarity Singers of the New Jersey Industrial Union Council. We're going to sing Solidarity Forever. We hope that you all sing it with us. I'm sure you all know the chorus. We'll start with the chorus. You got that? 1, 2, 3, 4. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. For the union makes us strong. When the union's inspiration through the workers' blood shall run, there can be no power greater anywhere beneath the sun. When what force on earth is weaker than the feeble strength of one, but the union makes us strong. Sing it out now, Solidarity! Solidarity forever! Solidarity forever! Solidarity forever! For the union makes us strong. They have taken untold millions. They have taken untold millions that they never toiled to earn. But without our brain and muscle, not a single wheel could turn. We can break their haughty power, gain our freedom when we learn that the union makes us strong. Sing it out now, Solidarity! Solidarity forever! Solidarity forever! Solidarity forever! For the union makes us strong. Here's the moral! In our hands is placed the power greater than their hoarded gold, greater than the might of armies magnified 1,000-fold. We can bring to birth anew from the ashes of the old, for the union makes us strong. Sing it out now! Solidarity forever! Solidarity forever! Solidarity forever! For the union makes us one more time! Solidarity forever! Solidarity forever! Solidarity forever! For the union makes us strong!
Maybe you want to sing at the reception too. We must hear from our Deputy Grand Marshal, the Honorable Wayne Richardson. Wayne has had a long career in the labor movement, is doing double duty in recent years as an Essex County freeholder, a man for all the people. Let's welcome our Deputy Grand Marshal for 2019, the Honorable Wayne Richardson.
Thank you, Assemblyman, and thank you for this honor. Thank you to the committee for selecting me. And I want to thank all the brothers and sisters in labor for coming out today. Are the laborers in the house? Are the laborers in the house? I just want to again say thank you. I'm going to be brief because I definitely don't want to be the cause of the rain and we're still standing here. So I just want to say thank you to my business manager, who's Hector Fuentes. Hector, where you at?
Right here, brother man.
Where's Paul Rodin, the business manager for Laborers Local 3? Paulie, take a bow, brother. This is our business manager for Laborers Local 3. Laborers Local 55, Hector Fuentes, very important people in my life and what we do in this labor movement. And I just want to say thank you, and let's get to marching.
I just want to give a special welcome to Rich Morocco, our past Grand Marshal, brought a nice contingent over from the Hotel Trades Council. Let's hear it from Brother Rich Morocco. Okay, guys, we're going to have to line up as best as we can. Okay? Our bands, our groups, our banners, we got to get moving.